Alright, welcome to episode 2 of Nonchalant Nachos. So I got my friend Ryan here. He was actually supposed to do the first episode, but he got grounded by his wife, so he wasn't allowed to come. But glad you were finally able to get on here. Should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So today's nacho recipe, nothing too fancy. It's just regular Tostito bite size with some medium salsa, but then I actually found some hot pepper cheese. I'll include a picture of it in case you might be interested in it. I hand grated it over the top, so try them out, see how spicy they are. Oh, I can't really taste the cheese.
First bite was all salsa for me.
Alright, but so if you saw episode 1, we started out the episode by doing unpopular opinions, so we'll do that again. What's like a opinion or belief or something you have that like everybody else disagrees with you on? Like mine would be, I actually think TV shows are better than movies. Like I would much rather prefer to watch like an hour and a half of TV shows, like, you know, even just the same TV show over a movie.
Oh yeah.
Because for me it's just hard to like sit and watch like the same thing over that period of time, because then it's like, you know, the storyline just moves a lot slower. It's hard to actually keep my attention on it. Whereas, you know, a TV show, you get variety all the time.
I'm the same way. I like a lot of TV series. There's also a lot of like your Netflix series that are really good and in depth.
Yeah.
And they have a constant rotation of storylines that keep you, you know, interested.
Yeah. Like there was a show, they haven't uploaded season 2 of it yet, but it's called Lock and Key. It was on Netflix. That was really good. It's like, you know, each episode is a little bit longer. I think it's like maybe 40 to 50 minutes per episode. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of episodes, but it's like that storyline is just constantly progressing at a good rate of speed. And so it's like, I would much rather watch multiple episodes of something even that long, you know, just over a movie. Do you really have anything?
I don't know. You know, other than like close friends or whatever, you know, there's not too many that understand like the whole like racing community and, you know, the type of racing and stuff that, you know, that you're trying to get into with your drag bike that I've been doing for quite a while. A lot of people don't see, you know, the point in that. You know, when people see a sport bike or anything like that, they assume that, you know, this is for, you know, taking on curves or, you know, enjoying down in the city or riding to and from, you know, wherever and enjoying the bike, whereas, you know, letting it rip in a straight line seems like there's zero talent and nothing to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you try to set that same person that kind of dogs it on a bike and they're like, okay, well, there is way more to this, you know, as far as, you know, clutch let out and how much throttle you have to have, what to do if the bike comes up, what to do if the bike comes down too hard.
Yeah.
And
blow an oil pan out on the concrete.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like there's a lot of stuff to it, and it's, you know, it's to each their own. Not everybody understands what you do, but, you know, as long as you love it, it's all that matters.
Yeah. Actually, I was hanging out with some friends of mine last night. There's actually our guitar player. He was in there, and his girlfriend was there too. And so, you know, we were kind of talking about, you know, my new drag bike and everything like that. And she was like, what's even the point of that? And I was like, I mean, it's something that looks, you know, fun. And she was like, well, you know, that's, you know, those bikes are so unstable. It's like, what if you take a corner too fast? I was like, okay, well, first off, you know, it's not a road racing bike. You know, it's a drag bike, so you go in a straight line. She was like, well, that's kind of stupid. And I was like, you know, well, like, what's stupid about it? And she was like, well, you know, I'd much rather, you know, do that in a car where you're on 4 wheels as opposed to on a bike. I was like, well, bikes actually become more stable the faster you go. And then she was like, well, what if you hit a rock? And I was like, there's not going to be a rock in the middle of a drag strip. They keep that shit clean.
Yeah.
Where she was like, I just don't think that's smart. It's like, you know, you're going that fast on a bike, and
it's a whole other form of adrenaline too. I mean, you have one where you're, you know, strapped in your seat in a car, getting ready to take off, and, you know, yeah, that's exciting to an extent. But then when, you know, just like when you're normally riding on a bike opposed to just driving around in your car, like for instance, you know, you taking the Charger from here to work might not be as exciting as getting on the 750 and enjoying a ride all the way to here. You have the wind in your face. You have that actual feeling of how fast you're really going, even if you're only going 40 miles an hour. The 40 miles an hour you feel.
Yeah.
Where in the car, you're just kind of along for the ride, and that's that.
Yeah. It's like that's what, I tell people a lot. I was like, obviously you've probably rode a bicycle before, but it's like, the second that you actually hit like even 35 miles on a motorcycle, it just feels unreal. It's like, it's the speed that you go every single day in your car, but then once you don't have, the doors around you, and it's like you can just look down, oh, hey, there's the concrete, like it's just like a whole other feeling that, people don't really understand until, you actually do ride. Obviously, people are into different things, even within racing, within motorcycles and everything like that. And it's like, last episode we talked, a lot about motorcycles and stuff, so I don't think you've seen that yet, so you need to go watch it.
Which one?
The first episode of this series.
I haven't watched that yet. What was the last one I watched? I think it was just a brief update of the bike. And
that's where you said I should name the ZX-12 Booger.
Yes, and the ECM getting flashed by Chris Moore.
Yeah. Which, dude, this is so stupid. So I sent that ECU out. Like, I took it to the post office. Well, it's a post office within a grocery store on Monday, and they told me it wouldn't be getting shipped out until Friday, yesterday. I was like, that's a little ridiculous. And it's like, standard shipping was like $10, and then the priority 2-day was like $11. So I was like, well, it just makes sense,
Spend the extra $1.
Yeah. But then it's like, still, it should have already been in his hands, flash tuned, and on the way back to me by now,
And that's going to South Carolina or North Carolina?
South Carolina.
Yeah. I think we need to find a hotter cheese and maybe some salsa.
Yeah. I was too lazy to go to the grocery store, so I'm just dealing with what we had here in the house. But yeah, another thing that I thought would be kind of fun, obviously this will start some good conversation too. I was thinking we could play like Would You Rather for a little bit. I was kind of looking through yours, so there's some actually really good questions in here. So would you rather have a time machine that only goes back in time or have a time machine that only goes forward in time? I feel like I'd rather have a time machine that goes back in time. Because it's like if you fuck something up, you can just be like, reverse, and then go back, and then you change it, and then it all turns out fine, and then you can continue living on your life. It's like you can literally never make a mistake in your life.
True. But like all the Back to the Future shows go, like any little change that you make in the past will affect your future. Could be good, could be bad. In my instance, I'd probably change a few things.
Because, it's like, if you only have a time machine that goes forward in time, it's like, what's not to say I fast forward 2 months from now and it's something I don't like. Well, now you're stuck in that, and then you can only go forwards, and what's to say that, that's even worse. It's like, and then you'd also miss out on a good chunk of your life.
True.
Because it's like, okay, now your life that you could possibly live for 90 years, you're really only living 30 years of that probably if you keep going forwards. Or I feel like I'd much rather have it go back in time. Because it's like, if we bought this beer and it turned out to be absolute garbage, we're like, let's go back and let's get this other one. Would you rather spend 5 years in prison but return to your old life, or never go to prison but move every year for the rest of your life?
Move every year? Like as far as like a new location?
I think so. I think that's what it means. Like move to a new house, new town, new state.
I don't know.
I don't like moving.
I don't either.
It sucks. It really does.
And starting over every year would suck.
I don't know.
But also, I don't know about 5 years in prison.
Well, I remember when I took a criminal justice class in high school, we actually got a tour of the prison here in Lincoln. You'd actually be surprised how nice prison looks. It's like they have like libraries and computer labs. They have like a store where you can like go buy stuff if you're like, you know what, I kind of want fucking fruit snacks. You just go buy fruit snacks, and I don't know. It's almost kind of like its own little community, really. It's like, the cells don't look the greatest, but
I'm like, now would this be like normal penitentiary or like a?
I don't think it's going to be Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
I'd probably do the 5 years in prison.
Yeah.
Because, return to your old life, it's like really it's almost like it didn't happen, I feel like is what they mean.
Unless you're unhappy with your old life and you're trying to go for something new.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, then that's entirely up to you to make happen.
True.
Would you rather be allergic to babies or be allergic to elderly people?
Babies.
Give you an excuse to not have so many.
Exactly.
Kill a person to your left or kill a person to your right?
Depends what they did. I don't have anybody to my right, so...
I don't have anybody to my left. Would you rather get 50 watches or get 50 suits? I don't like watches.
I don't wear watches either.
Suits
and
it
I don't
is.
wear suits either, so...
I mean, but at least now, if you have to go to a wedding or something, it's like, well, you got a suit to match whatever colors they got going on.
True.
Would you rather always look like you are 8 months pregnant or always have a black eye?
Go with the black eye.
Yeah, same.
They got makeup for that. You can't hide a baby.
Although, have you heard of those people that like don't even know they're pregnant? It's like you think you would notice that somehow.
I thought I just had bad gas.
Well, it's like I've heard stories like that where it's like somebody doesn't even know they're pregnant, and then all of a sudden it's like they feel like they have to go to the bathroom, so they go to the bathroom, and then there's like just a baby in the toilet, and they're like, I didn't even know. It's like obviously obviously you've had kids. I mean, not you personally, but
no.
It's like, I'm sure, your wife was always like, oh, like, I could feel the kicking. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I got morning sickness. It's like there's always symptoms, I feel like.
And there's no way that my wife would be able to hide anything like that because she's all of 5'2" and like 105 pounds. So.
Yeah. Would you rather be near deaf or hear everything 2 minutes later?
I feel like the second option I already have anyways.
I feel like I'm pretty deaf.
Yeah, considering the music's always cranked up at work.
Yeah. Well, then I know, Jordan always gets mad at me because she'll be, sitting on the other side of the couch, and it's like, I'm sure you can hear I-80 right behind us, and, then you get, the AC, or not the AC, the heat running, and the TV's on, she'll say something, I'll be like, what? And it's like she's even, just, on the other side of the couch from me, and...
When you go to band practice, do you have to wear headphones? Or,
earplugs? I used to, but, they have special earplugs, for... bands and stuff like that, so you can still hear everything clearly just at a lower volume. I don't have those. I just have shooting earplugs. And then since I'm also behind the amplifiers and stuff like that, it's I was having trouble hearing the rest of the band, so I was just pull them out and just play. So yeah, I never wear earplugs. Your ears definitely ring afterwards, but use only Instagram for the rest of your life or use only Facebook for the rest of your life?
I'm one of those people, it's I don't necessarily use social media unless I have to.
Yeah.
So I'd be okay with either one not being around. I think it takes a lot away from the way people used to communicate. People are so locked down to with their faces in their phones, and maybe it's the old side of me coming out with that. Whereas, if you wanted to have a conversation, you would literally, either call someone up or go talk to them, opposed to sitting there and talking back and forth. And, I know there's even couples out there or whatever that'll sit there and have a discussion, and they're sitting right across from each other, on a couch on Facebook, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. I was like, put it down.
Yeah. Believe it or not, he is way older than he actually looks. You just turned 40?
Just turned 40 on in January.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to be that same way, though. I definitely look way younger. But, I mean, I'd honestly say I'd probably use Instagram for the rest of my life. Because really, only thing I use social media for anymore is looking at memes and funny stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
always looking for stuff for sale, or...
That's true.
It's
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. It's a lot easier than trying to get on Craigslist or something like that. Trying to find something because everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah. I feel like Craigslist really isn't a thing people use all that much anymore.
No, it seems like within the last maybe 5 or 6 years, it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
But with a lot of platforms too, Craigslist started cutting a lot of things that you could and couldn't do. And
I think charging too.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like if you wanted to post a car for sale, it'd cost like $25-$50, something like that?
I don't think it was cars anymore, but like if you're an employer and you're trying to look for employees and you wanted to post like a job ad, and then they would start charging you for that. I don't think it costs anything to post a car unless you have like maybe some kind of like premium package. Don't quote me on that, but
That's what I remembered hearing about that, because like it was like, I was a part of like a big cars group chat, and I remember somebody was complaining about that. Like they had seen, it was like, what was it? It was somehow like if you post a car or if you post multiple cars or something like that, it was like, yeah, it cost. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it's a .org, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like they're a non-profit site. Oh, doesn't Craigslist just look like the sketchiest website ever? It's like still all the like old style link buttons from like 2004.
and even then it's like they don't have any control over like, I mean they try to, but even when like I would post like cars for sale or something like that or whatever, you'd have like some weird reply come through your email. It's like, hi, my name is Prince Muhammad Al-Jabbar and I would like to purchase your car. Can I please send you a cashier's check for $8,000? I'm like, I'm only asking $4,500 for the car. They're like, oh, well, you can keep the rest. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
I remember I was trying to sell one of my guitars, and it was like a really, really nice guitar. Like I think I paid like $1,400 for this thing brand new, and I was trying to sell it, and like I had it up on Facebook Marketplace for a while. I wasn't really getting any bites, and so I put it up on Craigslist, and I got, like, I think I put my phone number up, and this guy was like, hi, I would like to buy your guitar. I was wondering if you could mail it to this address or something like that. And I was like, or he was like, can I wire you money or something like that? And I was like, no, cash only, in-person deals, please. And he was like, please, I really want to buy this for my son. I was like, how old's your son? He's like, he's 6. He really wants to learn how to play guitar. I was like, so you mean to say you're going to buy him a $1,000 guitar for your 6-year-old son to learn how to play guitar? And he's like, yes, it's a very beautiful guitar. And I was like, dude, this thing is like for like performing and recording. Like this is a very high quality, expensive guitar. Yeah. And he was like, please, sir, just please mail me this guitar and I will wire you money. And I was like, you can go fuck yourself, dude. It's like, I know this is clearly a scam, dude. Like, yeah, I'm sure if your kid was like, can I learn how to play guitar? You're going to go find him, like, the cheapest guitar for $5 that you possibly can in the Walmart clearance section.
Maybe not, like, $5. I'd probably go to, like, Guitar Center or even, like, search for, like, a decent lower price. Because, I don't know, maybe, like, $150, $200 guitar would be something good to, like, kind of start off with. That would give you, like, well, depending if it was, like, electric or acoustic. Acoustics you can find that are like decent for $50, $75 that they can practice on, learn. Electric guitars probably like $100, maybe $200.
Like even at a music go round, I think I got my BC Rich for like $80 there. And it was like it was a nice one too. It had like the dual humbuckers. It was like that quilted maple top that was like stained like this really dark blue. It was a beautiful guitar, but yeah, it was like, you picked it up used. And yeah, I think they had it for like $89 or something like that. And I think I traded in a few things on it, so I ended up only getting it for like $30. It was like, yeah, I had that guitar for a really long time. So it's like, yeah, you can find, decent guitars used for way cheaper than that. But it was like, yeah, like that was a really nice guitar that, I didn't really play a whole lot. And so it was like, it was still in really, really, really good condition. No nicks or scratches on it.
I like my Ibanez's. Yeah. Kind of partial to them.
I need to get another guitar with humbuckers though. Just like, yeah, that Schecter that I sold was the last one that I had. The only other electric I have is one that I built in woodshop class.
Kind of cool to build one. I never had the opportunity of doing that.
That was in high school.
When I was in woodshop, they're like, hey, build a little mini garage. And I was like, oh, cool, I got something to blow up on the 4th of July.
Yeah, no, so the school that I went to, Lincoln East, like they had like probably the best woods program in Lincoln Public Schools. It was like the teacher, he actually went to school to become a luthier, so like actually making guitars and stuff. And then like we had got some huge grant from like rich alumni who donated a bunch of money to the Woods program, so we got a big ass CNC machine. So basically, it's like you put in like whatever program or whatever pattern you want it to do, and it'll have like the little cutting bit that goes down and cuts it out. So it kind of cut out like the basic outline of the guitar and like machine like the pockets for like the pickups and everything like that. But then it's like you still had to go through and cut it out and smooth all the edges and everything like that. And then it was like I sunk a good amount of money into that thing because it's like I bought a brand new neck for it. I bought like all the pickups and stuff on this website. They have like, it's called like a loaded pick guard. So it's like you get like a pick guard, you get the controls for it, you get like the pickups and everything, and then like all the wiring and everything. So I spent a lot of money on that. And then yeah, I got like the locking strap buttons and everything like that.
It's cool.
Yeah. So I still have it. I mean, it still sounds good. So
That'd be like something you wouldn't be able to get rid of because it's all something you made.
yeah, it's fully
Not-
custom. It's not like
yeah.
there's not a serial number where anybody can look up like the true year and model of it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I probably have like $700 or $800 in that thing, and it's like I know that if I were to try to list it for that, they'd be like, well, it's not a true Telecaster.
Yeah.
You know, I'd give you $200 for it, and I'd be like, no. Would you rather never have to tie your shoes again, or never have to untangle headphone wires again?
I don't want to mess with headphone wires.
Yeah. Because I mean, we both have like the Bluetooth earbuds where it's just one wire, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like neither of those really bother me all that much.
Yeah.
The one thing that I do hate is just shoelaces in general, especially on like Converse, because they're really floppy. So anytime you walk around on wet concrete, they're just dragging through like the nasty ass water. So it's not necessarily that I wouldn't ever want to have to tie shoes again. It's just more of that's the biggest thing that I hate.
Yeah. I'm like the type that like if they're too long, then I'll like tie them again and I'll tuck them into the shoe. So I hate having laces hang out.
I mean, I do that when I ride. I always tuck the end of the shoelaces like down inside the shoes, but then they're kind of like lumpy on the edges of your feet, and then they like work their way under your foot. Would you rather sleep on the floor wearing pajamas but have no pillow, or sleep on the floor entirely naked but you have one pillow?
I guess I'll go pillowless. Am I right?
I don't even know.
It's a strange question.
I feel like there's a lot of variables in that one, because it's like sleeping on the floor naked, I mean, that's fine as long as it's not like, 67 degrees in the house.
True.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, if you have blankets, you can just kind of, like pile a blanket up underneath your head.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like I would rather have a pillow, though. Would you rather forget who you are or forget who everyone you know is? Sounds like our president.
Yeah. What?
I'm Joe Biden and I forgot this message. Because like it would definitely suck to forget who you are, but then at the same time, just imagine like every time you see somebody, you have to be like, who are you again?
You're like 5-second Tom off of the 50 First Dates. Hi, I'm Tom. I know, we just met.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen that movie. Another Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore movie.
Yes.
This is that and Wedding Singer. Did they do any others?
I don't know off the top of my head. That's usually when I break out the IMDb and sit there and look at every movie they've ever done.
My dad is like constantly on that app because he said my mom, they'll be like in bed about ready to like go to sleep, and my mom's like, but yeah, so she'll be like, yeah, what was that movie with this one person who did this? Who was that actor? And then she'd like roll over and fall asleep, and then my dad's just like sitting there like trying to think of what it is for like the next 45 minutes, and then he won't be able to go to sleep. And then he kept saying, he's like, eventually one of the times he's actually going to remember like who it is, and he's just going to like shake her awake. Hey, you remember when you asked me this? It's this person. And
I would still just wake her up.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you figure it out. She's like, I'm sleeping. I don't really care. I'm like,
yeah, then when he found out about that IMDb app, so he can just be like, blah, 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 is this. But anyway, I think I do forget who everyone you know is. Because I'm sure when you meet somebody, you can just explain, like, hey, look, I have this thing, like, I forget something, something, something. Yeah.
all right.
Work a minimum wage job for the rest of your life, or live in the wilderness for the rest of your life.
I'd just go live in the sticks. what is the minimum wage here now? 7 something? So
I think it's 9. I'm pretty sure it's 9.
Is it bad that I don't know? Back in my day, minimum wage was $5.
Yeah, when I worked at the grocery store, minimum wage was like $7.25, and then like yeah, they were trying to pass all the legislation to make it like 10 or 12 or something like that, and so then they like kind of went through and they're like, hey, yeah, since you've been here for a while and you're still at minimum wage, we're gonna bump you up to this because obviously it's not fair for you.
Yeah.
To be making the same amount as somebody who just started. But no, on the wilderness thing, I remember there was this show for a while on like Discovery or whatever, where it like followed these people that like lived like out in the woods. And there was like people that have lived there for like 15 years or whatever. And I remember like this one thing that just stuck with me was this one guy. He was like probably like 60 years old or something. And he was like, yeah, my dad always told me the 6 P's, prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And so he's talking about like how he has like everything like prepared, like he's got these trees with like holes in them that have like these little kits he's put together with like extra like food and like clothing and stuff like that, and he's got like his whole area of land where he's got like all of this stuff like in case of like any situation. And then like, you know, down the path yonder he's got his other friend that lives down there too. And
I think I've seen that show.
I don't remember what it was called.
There's like one guy lives in like a little cabin that he made, and another guy has like a weird tree hut house type deal that he lives into.
I think so. I think I was still in middle school when that show came out. 2012 through 2000. Or no, that would have been longer than that. Because I was in I started my freshman year in 2012.
Mid 2000s.
You know, like late, like 2009 through 2011 or something like that. Control the emotions of those around you or control the weather.
I'd rather do the weather.
Yeah.
And let people's emotions, can't control those.
No. Because yeah, if we could control the weather, we wouldn't have had negative 26 degree weather.
And Texas homes would still not be flooded.
You see the pictures of like the different things that happen to like the houses down in Texas. Like there was some dude whose fish tank froze.
I didn't see the frozen fish tank though. I saw lots of burst pipes and the houses were flooding.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them was kind of like a TikTok remix. So you see like water cascading down staircases, and they have the freaking like "My Heart Will Go On" music playing the entire time. And I just kind of like lost my shit when I was like, oh god, all I could think of was like the Titanic movie.
Well, that made me think there was like one of the original Tom and Jerry cartoons. There was one where it was Jerry, I think. He like went around in the house and turned on every single faucet and flooded the entire house, and then like opened up the fridge and freezer doors so it like all turns to ice. So then they're sitting there like skating around on the floor, and then obviously the big chase between Tom and Jerry like breaks out, and so they're like, you know, skating all over the place, and it's like, yeah, they're like skating down like the stairs and stuff. That was a good cartoon. And then yeah, like somehow I don't remember what it was, but somebody got like, was it one of those little like soda fountain things where you put the soda in it and then you got like the little like lever to like fill? It's like a handheld one.
Oh.
I think they had one of those and they were like spraying each other with it, and then I think Jerry manages to like get Tom like completely frozen, so then they're using him as like ramps and stuff. Yeah, growing up, I absolutely loved the Tom and Jerry cartoons, and I got like this whole like box set of like all the original ones, and I think that had to have been like my favorite episode of it.
That's cool. I don't have cartoons like that a whole lot more. I mean, they're either way worse or there's some good ones out there, and then there's like the stuff that we watch for cartoons now that are highly inappropriate for young viewers.
A show that I think is like really slept on and underrated is Regular Show. There's that one where it's the raccoon and the blue jay. Like, there is just so much funny stuff in that, and I just like love how like every episode is like they just take like the simplest concept, like buying burgers from a food truck, and they somehow like just blow it so far out of proportion and make it like super ridiculous. It's just really funny. And then the creator of that, J.G. Quintel, he actually made a new series that is kind of similar to it. It's with like actual people though, but it's like all adult humor. I think it's called Close Enough. I think it's only on HBO Max right now. But yeah, it's like the same thing. Like actually in the first episode, within like the first minute, it's like the dad is like recording like the daughter on a skateboard, and they built like this whole skate park in their living room, and she's like skating down and hits this ramp and accidentally like hits the thermostat and breaks the thermostat, and then a tornado just like appears inside their house, and it's like blowing stuff everywhere, like out the windows and stuff. And I just got a spot of the spicy cheese.
Was it spicy?
A little bit. You can probably grab that one right there. It's a little soggy.
Let's try this out. Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude. That table's Louis Vuitton.
Just a little.
Like, it's a little bit of a zing. It's not super spicy, though.
No. One of these episodes, we're going to have to do some nachos where you're going to have to, like, have, like, well, neither one of us can have milk, so. So, if, like, nonchalant nachos, it'll be, like, OMG, you're fucked nachos.
Nonchalant nachos, it's extreme nachos.
Yeah.
Clickbaity title, we ate the spiciest nachos
We need to
in
do,
the
like-
world, OMG, blow your head off hot.
We need to do, like, some episodes where, you know how they have, like, hot ones with the wings.
Mhm.
Get all those different hot sauces and then have, like, a chip with, like, different salsas from, like, around the world. And then you sit there and just kind of try them out. Unless they already have a show like that, but
I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't either. I tried doing some research before I started this about like nacho podcasts or different types of nachos, you know, like just stuff like that. And it doesn't look like this is really
A huge thing.
no, it's not a saturated topic.
Next, we're gonna do nonchalant crepes. Nobody does that yet.
Do a different
What are
beer.
these ones?
I'm trying to do a different beer with
Hazelnuts.
each episode.
Yeah.
We started out with Bush, just because
good-
I had a couple tall boys sitting around.
The good old Third Stone from Empyrean Ales, Laszlo's.
Yeah, this is a local brewery. Laszlo's is a restaurant here in Lincoln, and this is like their brewery of it, Empyrean Ale.
I got a
This is probably my favorite one of theirs.
couple. Yeah, I've always had like Third Stone, and then they have another one. It's like Luna something or other, and it's kind of an IPA, which isn't.
I
too
can't
bad
do
for those.
IPAs. I do not like IPAs at all.
It's like a citrusy version of one, but it's not terrible. Myself, I like this flavor. Stronger, darker beers. Like when you're younger, you're like, it doesn't matter, beer is beer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start to kind of acquiring a taste for beer and other stuff, you like to have the flavor.
Yeah, I like darker beers personally. I can't do IPAs. They're just way too bitter and citrusy for me. It's like you drink and you like.
What about like a Blue Moon?
See, even that kind of, it has that citrusy taste. It's not bad, but I couldn't drink multiple of them. Well guys, thanks for checking out the second episode of Nonchalant Nachos. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you later.